Howdy, it's that time again where I must make another cutscene tutorial because there are never enough. In today's video, I'll be making character cutscenes, which is basically the exact same as all my other cutscene tutorials except the character is going to be animated with it. So let's not waste any time. Oh, and per usual, all of the files will be in the description of this video, so feel free to download them, use them or whatever. You don't even have to credit me, I do not care. Anyway, buckle your seatbelt, I don't know. Let's get into today's video. So first, go to Avatar, go to Rig Builder, click R6, and add a block avatar. This will be a little dude that will be in our cutscene. Then, go to Home, add a part, and scale that part to be the same size as his humanoid root part, which is his torso. Once you have that, turn on Show Orientation Indicator, and you can see, yep, okay. Well, actually, you should turn on Orientation Indicator before you scale the part, but yeah, we want this to be facing forward, so this is right. This is the front of our part. Now you can take this part, go to Rotation, Orientation. You can see when you rotate this, that orientation changes. We need to set the middle one to be 180 so we can flip it. So now this is facing the rig. I'll move this back a little bit, and I'll name this Player Cutscene Position. Then I'll anchor this part, and now we can actually start animating. So go to Avatar, open your animation editor, click on your rig, and now we can actually move these parts to generate whatever animation we want. Now I'm not going to go too in depth with this. I'm going to make a simple little really bad wave or something. Oh no, we'll do a point. Actually no, I'm just going to make this dude start like tweaking out for no reason. And then our other dude, your character, is going to do a shocked expression. So I have this terrible animation, and I'm going to loop it so it goes on forever. Then I'm going to go to Properties. Well, these three dots, I'm going to do Save at, no, we're going to Publish to Roblox. I'm going to name it Amazing Animation. And make sure you save this asset ID. Now we can make a second animation using the same rig. This will be our character's animation. So I'm just going to go here and press Create New. I want our character to be shocked and shake his head no. So I'm going to add all body and insert keyframes for everything. Then I'm just going to do a little shocked kind of animation. And he's going to shake his head no. So I have my very good shocked animation, which looks like this. So good. I'm also going to save this one. Well, I'm going to publish it to Roblox, not save. Awesome. Animation 2. And make sure you save this value as well. Well, not value, this animation ID. So that was the animation for our character, which is going to be here. And the first animation was the animation that's going to play on this guy. So I'm going to take these two parts and drag them over here. I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to turn transparency on player cutscene position to 1. I'm going to turn off can collide, and now we're set. Make sure it's anchored again. Yep. And anchor the humanoid root part of this rig so it doesn't move. And I'm not sure why I moved these. I'm actually going to put these back here. Then insert a part into workspace. Make it about this size. I'll make it slightly transparent. Actually, I'm going to make it 100% transparent. I'm going to anchor it, turn off, can collide, and I'm going to name this touch part. Now all we have to do is add a few cameras and then program our cutscene. So I'm going to add a part into workspace. I'm going to name it cam1. I'm going to turn on show orientation indicator. So this is the front. And then I'm just going to take these parts. Well, this part, I'm going to add a surface light. I'm going to apply the surface light to the front, which is already there. Turn the range up, turn the angle all the way down, and I'm going to switch the lighting to future so you can see exactly where the camera's pointing. And now I'm just going to add a couple cameras. So I got one right here aiming at the guy. Then this is where my guy will be, so I'm going to make this visible again actually. Then I'm going to duplicate this, and rotate it like this. And now we have our two cameras. I'm gonna rename this one to be Cam 2. And now we're set. We can start programming. And just to save yourself some work before we start, just let's turn off this orientation indicator. And you can delete the lights from these cameras. And you can turn all of these things, transparency, like the cam 1, cam 2, and player cutscene position, back to 1. So you can't see any of those. And make sure you turn your camera's collisions off. Alright, so instead of the starter player, starter GUI, insert a local script. Now we just have to add a couple of variables. So we'll add our player, local player equals game, players dot local player, local char equals player dot char, character not char. And now we have to add all of our animation stuff. So inside of replicated storage, add an animation, duplicate it, and take those IDs that you saved and put them into these like this. So this is rig animation. Well, I'm just gonna name it rig and player anim. I'll change rig to be rig anim. And now I'll put those values that I originally saved inside of here like this. So now those player IDs, not player IDs, those animation IDs are inside of these animation thingies. So we can use that as a reference to animate our characters. I just had a stroke trying to say that. So let's reference those. Local rig anim equals game.replicated storage. Wait for child rig anim. Then you could just copy this code and do player anim, and then just change rig anim to player anim. Now we need to add a variable for our rig. So we'll do local rig equals game.workspace wait for child rig. Then we can get our cameras. Local cam1 equals game.workspace wait for child cam1. Then you can copy this code and do the same thing for cam2. Then above that we can get our actual camera. Actually, we'll do it at the top. Local cam equals game.workspace.current camera. Now this is a mess. There's more. We need to add our tween service so we can actually do smooth animations for the camera. Now we gotta reference our part. So local touch part equals game.workspace wait for child touch part. Then we gotta do our player cutscene position part. So local player cutscene position. We'll just do PCP. I don't like that. We'll do player cutscene pose. Alright. Then we'll do equals game.workspace wait for child player cutscene position. Now above everything we'll add a bool. Well, I'll put the bool right here. Local happened equals false. So the cutscene has not happened. Then I'll do touch part dot touch connect function hit, and we can just compare the hit's name to the player's name. So if hit dot parent dot name double equals player dot name, then happened equals true. And just for test, we're gonna do print player dot name. So it should just print our name once, confirming that this code actually functions. And it printed our name a bunch of times because I actually am dumb. I forgot to add the actual bool, so we'll do if happened double equals false, and that's not how you spell happened. Oh my god. Okay, if happened equals false and hit.parent.name equals player.name, then now we should only get our name printed once. And there we go. No more prints. That works. Let's name this local script because we're not a Neanderthal anymore. Cutscene handler. I'm behind today, guys. I don't know why. But yeah, make sure you name your scripts. You don't want a bunch of local scripts named local script. It gets hard to manage. Also, for things like cameras and touch parts, you can put all of this inside of a folder. For tutorial's sake, I'm not gonna. So let's get started now. So directly underneath happened equals true, I'm gonna delete this print. And I'm gonna do player dot character. Now we could just do char dot humanoid dot walk speed equals 0, char dot humanoid dot jump height equals 0. So when you touch that part, you should stop moving. And it works. There's a problem. I animated my character being an R6 animation, and I'm R15. So just publish this game to Roblox, if you haven't already. And then you can go into game settings, go to avatar, and just change that to R6. For the sake of this tutorial, I'll be changing it. Now, directly under here, we'll do char.humanoid root part.cframe equals player cutscene pose.cframe. So I should snap you to in front of that little dude. And there we go. Now we can change the camera. So right when it does that, we'll do camera type equals enum.cameratype.scriptable. And we'll do cam.cframe equals cam1.cframe. So when you touch that, you should see the guy. Okay, I think I forgot to anchor the cameras. Something's telling me these ain't anchored. And I'm right. Alright, so now if we go and play, it shows the guy. So he's gonna wave at us, so we'll just do local rig wave equals rig. No, let me think. We gotta put this below rig. We need to reference rig. Alright. Rig wave anim equals rig dot humanoid wait for child animator load animation, and we'll just load the rig animation. Then for the player animation, we'll do the same thing. We could just copy this code and we'll do player player anim 1 or just player anim. You can name it whatever really. And then we'll just go char.humanoid wait for child animator load animation, and we'll do player animation. Now we can actually play our animations. So when it changes the camera, I'll do test.wait 1 and I'll do this animation and I'll make it play. Actually, I'll make it wait like 3 seconds. So the cutscene should begin and he should start just rotating. This is terrible. Why is he doing? Alright. So then we'll just do test.wait 4 or 3, whatever really. And we'll just change the cam C frame to be cam 2. And then I'll do task.wait 1 or 2. And I'll play the player animation. So player animation, play. And now we should have a really janky kind of cutscene with player animations. So you can't move. This dude starts rotating. Shows you. Then there's your awesome... Okay, he's pointing and yelling. It's not supposed to point and yell. The reason it's doing that is because I didn't export the animation as the right kind of animation. So if you go to the animation editor, you can see this is the animation we want. You need to go to set animation priority and make it an action. Then you can publish that to Roblox. Then you can just replace that ID with the ID you got from that one. So player animation, I'll just change the ID to this one. And if we go and play, I'm gonna lower the wait in betweens because the wait in between. God, my speaking is so good. Okay. I lowered the weights. I changed the animation core, whatever it's called. So now it's an action. So it should, yeah, it moves our arms now. So he yells and he's like, ah. So we'll do animation play. Then I'll do player animation dot stopped. Then below this, we'll just make it so the cutscene goes back. Here, I'll do test.wait. Actually, no, I'll just make the camera change back to being normal. So I'll copy this code, paste it, do custom instead of scriptable. Then I'll fix these. So it's 16 for walk speed, I believe. Yeah. And for jump height, it's 7.2. So if that works, it will do a little animation, and then you'll be able to move again. So I just interacted with this dude. Oh, he's rotating now. That's scary. And I used the wrong thing. So it was a simple fix. I just did stopped instead of stopped : wait. So if you add that wait, it will wait until the animation completes to go back to playing the animation. I mean, to go back to doing the cutscene. Sorry, I'm just talking and confusing Jimbo Jambo. But yeah, this is basically everything now. This cutscene functions, and it will leave that guy spinning, and it will do a little dramatic ah. So you walk up to him, and yeah, he starts spinning. You yell, and then it goes back to letting you move. And that's how you make character cutscenes. Basically, you can stop this guy from rotating whenever you want, but you could make all kinds of things using this method. It's pretty easy. I figured I'd teach you. Thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to all my viewers. I'll see you on the flip side. Brush your teeth. Bye-bye.